Welcome to the workface. Now I've been asked, in fact I asked a local Torbay based SUP manufacturer and supplier if I could review their new SUP paddleboard, inflatable stand-up paddleboard. So today I'm reviewing the Luum Supramar 11.8 times 5.9 inches times 33 inches wide stand-up inflatable paddleboard. I get nothing for this. Let's see how it gets on. I'm going to quickly take you through first of all what you get in the pack. So you've got a Luum bag first of all, nice big bag as well, and in there you've got a pouch at the front where you've got a Bravo Super pump and hose. Next up, couple of fins, we'll show you those a bit later. We've got a waist belt, we've got a leash, manual, and then inside we have got, and just look here, look, we've got robust carry handles and everything on the bag itself, so it's a nice robust bag, clips on the side so you can tighten up a bit, which is needed because it is a very big bag actually. And then I will show you the paddle. So it's a aluminium coated shaft paddle. It's got anti-twisting mechanisms on the shaft, which is good, and it's got a nylon type blade. And then there's the actual SUP itself all rolled up. Time to get out on the water. Let's get down to the beach. There is the Luum board in its deflated state. It does say that it recommended up to a 25 psi. I'm only going to 15 because that's as much as I want to pump. So we'll see what it's like. Conditions out there, very, very flat, and I'm as light as a buttercup, so I'm not going to put a lot of bend on the board, am I? Pump comparison, very similar between the HP and the Bravo, but the Luum has got a really nice valve on it. It almost is probably less of a spring in there. Makes it a bit easier to pump actually. Let's look around the board. So going from the back, you've got your inflation details there, 15 to 18, maximum 25, up to inflate, down to deflate, or as I say, up for up, down for down. You've got bungees on the back, nice big carry handle in the middle, double bungee setup on the front, another carry handle on the front, which is good. And then you've got these camera mounts, 1, 2, 3, 4, which are fine. One oversight with this though is most people have got GoPro kit. The GoPro doesn't actually come with a mounting for that. That's going to cost you 10 quid to have the right mounting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clip my GoPro onto that this morning, so I've got a clipping device. So all is good, but that's something which I think if I was Luum, for the sake of putting a tenner in the pot, I'd provide one of those because it might miff someone off. But other than that, I like the look of the board. It's darker than I'd perhaps otherwise go for, and I'm not sure whether a dark board is good in sun and all the rest of it, but I like the look of the board. Let's flip it over and get that fin on. Now, as I mentioned last night, this comes with two fins, both for a US fin box. This is similar to the Curok. I think it's a 9 or a 10 inch fin, good fins without a doubt. This is an easy fitting one, and what's really good on this is they've got this split fin box, so when you roll it up it can bend, so it's a really good idea. Haven't seen this on any other paddleboard, but I think it's fantastic. So let me just show you how I clip this fin in. It's as simple as slide the bottom one in, and I want to get it quite close to the back, just pop it in, job done. How easy was that? And the other thing that's really good is they've dropped that fin right to the back of the board. Now that improves tracking. Tracking, what on earth is tracking? Tracking basically means, will the board go in a straight line without turning? Simple as that. Is terminology for the sake of terminology, but yeah, it improves tracking the further back the fin is. So this, to me, looks ready to go. Better get out and test it on the water. So click above and you'll see my very quick, it's less than 2 minutes, review of this paddleboard as well, where I go through all my different star ratings. I'll share with you there all the different star ratings that I've given the board, and you'll see at the bottom I've sort of holistically said that this is a 5-star paddleboard, and the reason being the performance of that board on the water is a little bit heavier than I might perhaps like. It's 12.7 kilograms rather than about 9 or 9.5, which I'm used to, but the rigidity at 15 pounds per square inch, 15 psi, is fantastic. The stability in choppy conditions is also fantastic. I would say that it is possibly, in terms of the board itself, the best paddleboard I've ridden or stood upon. And I've stood upon some hard boards, I've stood upon some red paddle boards, I've stood upon some Curocs, some 2 bare feet, a Gladiator paddleboard. This is the best of the bunch in terms of stability. The rigidity is the same as the Curoc, but the stability is really good for this. The Curoc I'm comparing with is 3 years old, and of course you will always compare with other paddleboards. That's what you want to do when you go to these different sites, I think, is compare. But when you look at the total package, the biggest downfall for me is the paddle. I would like Luum to perhaps give different paddle options, and even a 0 paddle option, so people go off and source their own paddle if they wanted a high-end carbon paddle, for example. And the other thing I would make a real point of saying on the website is that at different PSI, because this board can go to 25 PSI, but actually from 15 to 18 PSI, on 15 PSI, it is absolutely solid. And finally, the bag itself is nice and robust. There's plenty of room in that bag for you to be able to get all your gear in, including the Bravo Super pump, which is a really good pump as well. But you've got plenty of room. Let me show you below me rolling the gear up and getting it into the bag. I'm still debating myself what the best solution is for bags. This is a big bag. It's better than a dry bag option. Hasn't got wheels on it, but it's nice and robust, and you can get all your stuff in there without too much of a problem. So there you go, folks. That's my review, final review of the Luum Supramar 11.8 paddleboard. It gets the big 5 stars from me. It's a quality board, made in Torquay, local to me. But I tell you what, this board is really something. One other thing to mention, it does come with a 2-year warranty. Now, Luum are confident that if there's going to be an issue in the manufacture of any of their boards, and this doesn't happen, but if there was, you'd identify that almost immediately. So I would say that from my experience of paddle boards, I think they got a point there. That seems fair enough to me, and I do know that Luum will give support to customers going forward if you, for example, had wear and tear and damaged your board yourself, which will be outside of your warranty. So there you go, 5 stars for the Luum Supramar paddleboard. I couldn't have said it better myself.